Hello everyone and welcome to Manor Lords. I've been eagerly anticipating this game since it was announced, and today I finally get to play the demo, which is now available for free on the Steam store right now. The demo does not have a save feature, so this will not be a new series, rather just a look into the game itself and how it plays. I will admit this is not my first time playing the game, as I've been playing for several hours now just to get to grips with the game and the features available. We start off and there's three scenario options with the game. Rise to Prosperity being the only one available to us at the moment, as you can see. And here you've got the Robber Baron, which you start off as an infamous knight, is residing in a castle up north. Build up your strength, and when ready, lay claim to his lands and defeat him in battle. And then you've got Realm Conquest, which is due to a tangled history, there are multiple claimants to these disputed lands. Use economy, diplomacy, and warfare to your advantage to become the sole ruler. And Rise Prosperity, which is the one that we've got available to us, is you're the first lord to settle these lands, start from nothing, and build a prosperous medieval city. You can also create a character, choosing from the profile pictures available, and we can even create our own coat of arms if we so desire. Changing the colours, the sigils on the shield, and how many we want. Just like that as an example. Just noticed that this griffin is actually farting fire out of its bum. We're going to call ourselves, not Sir Greg, we're going to call ourselves, as you'd probably expected. But you can do other cool stuff as well with the coat of arms. You've got all this going on. Change between the different things. Backgrounds to the actual shield itself. This isn't really necessary at the moment. No ability to save your progress in the game, so we'll just continue forth. Okay, a new message. There's a fire at the heart of every settlement, a bastion of safety, warmth and light against the darkness of the world. On this cold spring morning, our men blow on their fingertips, their breath clouding in the air, but there's plenty of work to warm them. As the toil begins, you can almost imagine you hear the ring of anvils, the tolling of bells, the cries of the marketplace, possibilities. In the distance, fog lingers in the hollows of the land, and the world is quiet, watchful, waiting for you to choose which of those to make real, rather. So our objective is to construct a granary, a logging camp, foraging hut, and a storehouse. Right, okay, where are we in the grinder world of things? So this is our starting area. We're in Layfield. As you can see, you've got all these other areas throughout the map. We can conquer, from what I've learned so far about the game, is we can take over these other regions later on in the game when we can build armies. However, being that that's a demo, we can't go to these other regions. We are locked into the one that we have. So, where would we like to begin? Well, our settlement and everything's here, and I would just want to scroll in to just show you how much work's been put into this game. Look at this oxen. The model details in this is fantastic. Look at the guys here. Just look at the detail of this game. First thing I'm actually going to do, before we get into anything else, let's have a look at farming. First we got the Emma fertility. Emma fertility, or Emma, is your wheat. You got your flax. It looks like we cannot grow flax at all in this region of ours. Oh, we can, way over here. Wow, okay. Barley, we can build or grow in here. Rye, anywhere around here. The first thing we want to do is build a granary. So we come down here to storage. And we've got a granary. But I don't really want to do that just yet. I have been playing this game so far, I've been having a lot of issues with dealing with food. So we're actually going to build a foraging hut, and the controls are quite simple, they are also on the screen right there as we speak. So we're going to build a foraging hut about here, which is quite perfect for our needs. Now, the great thing about this game is at the moment in the demo, there is no catchment area for, well, limitations of the area. Like, if you guys remember in Father's Frontier, there's a ring that goes around the building, and that shows where they will be picking the items from. In this game, that doesn't really matter. you can put a building over here where my cursor is currently, and they will pick the berries over here. And then once they do that, they'll go to the next one, which is over here. But for now, we'll just put these ones here, and we're going to put a hunting lodge right next to them. So we're going to put a hunting lodge about here. And these guys will automatically hunt the wild animals in this vicinity, which is good for some early food. The other thing we would like to have is a logging camp. We're probably going to put that down here like so. And right next to them, we're going to have a wood cutting lodge. And now the reason being is you got people cutting trees down, and then we need to be made into firewood so that our citizens can survive the winter. The very next thing I would like to do, looking at the Emma fertility, is I would like to build a farm. I want to build it in the best place possible. Not enough workforce, but that's fine. And so in this game, you can build farms all over the place as you wish. So you can build one there, you can build one over here, you can probably build one over here, but for people to work on them, you need a farmhouse. We'll just leave that for the time being. There we go. Hunting camp is done. So we'll put two people immediately on that, getting us food. Now, one thing I love about this game is the fact that they actually use the oxen to take the lumber over to where it is being built, which is very much how they would have done back in the old days, right up until the Victorian era, just before they introduced trains and stuff like steam tractors and so forth. It's a very cinematic game, I find. It's very beautiful graphically. Alright, let's just start getting stuff built. So storage, the first things we want is a granary. And we're probably going to slap that down over here like so.
Let's go, people!
And next to them, we're going to have a storehouse. Now, I could be talking out my butt here. However, I do recall very early dev diaries, I think it was a dev diary, in which they said that with this game, they were going to allow the citizens make their own roads. And what they mean by that is when they start walking along a particular path for a certain amount of a period of time, they will automatically create the path for them. Much like it is in the game Foundation. I don't know if any of you have played that game. It's a good city building game, much like this one. A medieval period, but it's very cartoony in its aesthetics. But now you have to make your own roads, and that's just simple, just connecting the dot. But it looks a lot more organic than, say, it is in Farthest Frontier, which is stuck to a grid square connecting to grid square in its appearance. This is a lot more organic. And as we can see, the farm is actually being built. So first of all, we want to go Emma. Second, rotate crops. We want to make it go fallow the second year. And then in the third year, we would like to plant more Emma down. Now, for anyone to work on that farm, we actually need to build a farming hut, or an actual farm. About here. Your supplies are dry and secure, and the first stage of work is done. The stories your people tell around the fire are the many dangers in the world, from beasts to blights, strange tales about foxes who go on pilgrimage, or small creatures who spin gold from sunset to sunrise. They tell these stories to put common names to their fears. Soon they'll teach their stories to their own children. It's time to bring wives and children to the settlement, now that they can take shelter in proper homes. For your lands to prosper and grow, you'll need only workers. You'll need not only workers, but families. Right. This is the interesting, well, this is the fun part, but we have to wait until we've actually got some lumber so we can actually do something. Housing's quite fun in this game, in which you can actually make your own plot. So you can go like that. Or we can go a little bit smaller. Something like this. However, with the bigger one, like so, that little plus sign, that little cross, allows the people who own that property to do other to do other things like plant their own fruit and vegetables, have chicken coops, and there's one other thing, look after pigs and so forth. So it's really down to what you want to do. But I think for the time being, we're just going to go for the smaller option here. So we're going to have 2 houses built here. Also need to build ourselves a well. Now a well has to be in a source of water. As you can see, there is an overlay called underground water. And unfortunately, I have built the logging camp right over the top of one of the best sources of water. But a well can only be built in here like so. Now with this game, you really have to manage your workers early on in the game pretty well. You can't just have them sitting and doing a job. You can't have them sitting around doing a job if they're not actually doing something. You need to get stuff built, like housing and stuff. You need to do it as fast as you possibly can. And voila, we've got our first 2 homes. Now we need to build another 3 more. So let's just go ahead and start building the other 3. Now this is how you build a road. It's pretty straightforward. Just go like that. Go build. Boom, it's done. No one needs to work on it. As you can see, it's pretty organic looking, and the way it can also wrap, the way it wraps around other buildings in the way, it's quite organic in the way it does that. I reckon it's quite neat. Now, we've just got a settlement level increase. Now, what that does is unlocks us a development point. So we come out here to the name of our city, where we can rename it, and there is 4 different trees where we can put our points into. Unfortunately, because this is a work in progress and this is a demo, it is all locked, so I can't actually spend the point, and I have no idea what will be under these currently locked nodes along these different trees. But there's something to find out when the development goes a little further. As you walk the perimeter, surveying your village with pride, a woman walks past you. She spent nearly double under a sack. You ask how long she's been walking. She tells you it takes her half a day now to get all the food she needs for her family from the hunters and farmers that surround the village. If only there was a marketplace where your people could acquire food, clothing and firewood, they would be happier and have more time for other work. So we need to construct a food stall, a firewood stall and a clothing stall, and have 2 burgage plots up to level 2. This is the part that I can't get past. This is the part that I start struggling with. I would say my favourite season in this game is autumn, just with all the reds that are dotted around the landscape with the changing of the seasons and the leaves dying off. I reckon it's quite pretty. And here comes winter. I love the transitional period in this game between autumn into winter. So as you can see all the snow flurries coming down from the sky. You just see this ground become more snowier. You can see the ground becoming more snowier, the snow starting to build up on the houses, or the frost anyway. Well, bam, we're now in winter. Evergreen trees are still evergreen. Those that are not evergreen have lost all their leaves. I shouldn't theoretically be waiting until after winter to be doing this, but we kind of need... This is probably the best time to do it, so there's not a lot of work to be done. I think the only person that can work year-round in terms of gathering food is the people who work at the hunter's camp. They're the only people. Probably take 3 people off of that, and then go towards building houses. And as you can see here, this is the upgrades we can do. So we can do a vegetable garden, a chicken coop, and a goat shed. That's the one I was thinking of, not pig pen. So to make a chicken coop, you need 25 silver, which means we need to start mining and selling, crafting of tools, which we can then sell for, which will allow us to get the chicken coops, and the same with the goat sheds. And the vegetables also doesn't provide any yields in the winter, but they are free to have as long as you're producing tools, which we will have to get around to doing eventually. It's all about people management in this game, for the early game, that I found out the hard way. It's managing your people wisely. During the summer months, you want basically everyone on harvesting, making food whilst they can. During the winter months, that's where you want to do all your building, because that's the best time of year for it, I find. Since there's not a lot of people who can do food stuff except for the people who are hunting. Oh, you can see the snow starting to thaw out as we head in through February. As soon as it turns March, we're going to be taking people off of their winter jobs and putting them into getting food. So as you can see, we've got the farmer, or those who are farming, planting all the crops. Now we're going to need a place, so the crops are all very well and fine to have, but you can't make food from crops. You need to build a windmill, and we're going to do that right now. So we go to farming, go to flour. Right, where's the best place? 94%, that was right there. So windmill efficiency is how 96%, that's pretty good. How much wind it can catch and spin into, well, how much wind the windmill or the wind sails can actually catch the wind. So the higher the percentages, the better efficiency you'll get. And the other thing we'll need is a communal oven for when
Come on, people. Get
the
to
windmill is up and running. Interesting, I can build houses on this slope, but not on that slope when it's the exact same slopiness. That is now a word. Slopiness. Right, we can go ahead and we can build ourselves a marketplace. Now the marketplace is a simple thing to build. So go to village. Is it village life? No, it's trade. Right, no, it is village life. So we go to village life. And we go market area. Simple thing. Let's have it here. Go bam, 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 and bam. There you go, you've created your market. Then you build the stalls that are on them. So you can have one here,
Get to work, lads.
like so, that's for food. Have one at the back here, this is for the firewood
Come on,
cutting.
people. Get to work.
And then you have one here for clothing.
Get to work, lads.
There you go, there's your market. Boom, done. Right, that's the market completed. Now we've got 1500 days to make 3 of these burgage plots level 2, which I've never done before. I've never been able to succeed in this. Now the hunting limit means how much animals they'll keep in an area, so this one's got 22, so theoretically they can kill 2 more, which they've just done. They've just killed 2 more animals as we're speaking, but the population will not dive beneath 20. So then they'll come over here, hunt a few more of these ones until they get down to about 20. Oh, here we go, the harvesting. So they harvest all the emmer into these bushels, and then they'll take these bushels to the farm, where they'll fill up the pantry. Alright, there's nothing for them to do here now. It's 4 people doing absolutely nothing, so let us take all but one off. And we're going to have 3 people on the windmill. And the Foraging Hut has got people that are not doing anything. So let's put them onto the communal oven.
Workers here.
Let us build a road coming up to here. And then from here to here. Now the reason why I put the road in is it allows our people to walk faster to these areas that they will be working in. Even though they're not taking the road. Oh, now they are. Grain's being made into flour. Flour is coming down to the communal oven and is being made into bread. Bread is then going into the granary. Now, another cool thing I love about this game is you can click on your people and watch them do stuff, even though he's currently carrying nothing. And then sometimes they will speak if you double click on them. So they were talking, when I was playing yesterday, they were talking when I clicked on them. Now they don't seem as vocal. I would like to show you guys just the mining aspect of the game before we call it quits. Let us build a mining pit. Now, mining pit works exactly the same way as it does in Farthest Frontier, it's just that there's no grid. Unlike Farthest Frontier, which snaps to it, you can put it anywhere you want along here, but let's put it
Get to work,
like that,
lads.
like so. Alright, the iron pit, mining pit's just been built, so I'm just going to chuck a couple of families onto that one. And then we're going to build some of the industry that goes with it. So we go to industry, we go to bloomery. Build one there. We go to a smithy. And we'll plonk that right there like so. Alright, we're now starting to produce our own tools, which is going to become in handy when we come over to one of these places that we can upgrade. Which one was that? These ones. Boom. You can now make people plant their own fruit, which they will then sell at the market, which is a step towards getting the Burgage plot level 2. Alright, mining pit is currently full. Probably take one person off of that. Go into the bloomery, because the bloomery is going to be, or the smithy is going to be your source of income for silver and allow you to purchase other items and goods in time, and we'll have to build a trading post for that. Okay, so this is the trading post, and at the moment we've currently got one person in there, and we've got one traveling trader coming through. Now, trade rule is we're going to export tools only. I think that because a lot of this is a work in progress, we can't do a lot of the trading stuff that is available. I could be 100% wrong. I'm pretty sure if there's a game dev out there watching this, please inform me if I am mistaken. But this is how we're going to start earning money, is through the trading post, with the traders coming in, purchasing stuff, selling stuff. And then we'll be able to have people out here with these homes be able to have chickens and goats. Other thing I've built since we last checked in was a foraging hut. A forester hut. And the forester hut allows us to plant new trees. As you can see, there's some new shrubbery coming in here. And they grow actually quite fast, which is pretty good. So instead of the guys taking forever to come all the way out here, grab a tree, drag it all the way back, it soon will be recuperating around this area. It will start regrowing around in this area. And boy does it grow thick. I had one in my last playthrough, and it was just everything around, like over here, there was nothing. And then around the forester hut was just bush. It was all trees. Now, I have no idea how to level up these Burgage plots to level 2. Or as it says in the game, to lever 2. Lever 2? That's probably an oversight that they need to fix, is the typo there. Though I guess that will be fixed in time. So I have a wide variety of food coming into this area. We have bread, we have vegetables, and I don't know why I'm unable. It says the number of food types available on the marketplace needs to be, I don't know. We've got water, we have fuel. Yep, so I do not understand why. Is it because it's in a demo? I don't know. But I should be. There is a variety of food. Last thing we can build is a church, which I might just build for the sake of it.
Let's get to work.
Just to say, bam, we've got a church. Now, what the church does is it levels our village up to the next level, and that's when we start being taxed by a regional lord or something. Oh, if it says, well, does that mean, okay, I think I've worked it out. We need to have these all ticked off before we can level up to level 2. I think I understand this game now. It's not very well explained, but it's just a matter of trial of error. We are now going to be taxed because we have a church. I do like the fact you can choose your bell sound. That is amazing. And the other thing we can build is a tavern, but to do that we will have to go about going to the farm, and would need to make a farm produce barley, which we then will then have to go to industry. We then have to go to build a malt house, and then we'll have to make a brewery, and that will enable us to create a tavern. But I think this is all we're going to do for the time being for our first look at Manor Lords. As I said, this is not going to be a new series because you can't do any save, and this is what I meant by the Forester's Hut. It's just trees. It's pretty good. But yeah, I think this is all we've got time for today. I think this is a good place to... I think I've shown off enough of what the game has to offer. The demo, as I said earlier, is available in the Steam store right now if you wish to play and try it out for yourselves. There is a bit of a learning curve to it. I would say my first 3 attempts playing this game have ended in absolute misery. But it's all about balancing your people and focusing on that food production as soon as you possibly can. And if you can do that, you will be able to power your way through the rest of the game. I hope this video gave you a good taste as what to expect from Manor Lords when it does eventually come out. As always, if you enjoyed the video, why not consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and like if you wish to see more content like this. I've been your host, Sir Firecat. Until next time, take care.